Hello, I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and you are watching Tom Talks Rubbish. It's the place for interviews, wrestling reviews, and so much more.
You subscribe to Tom Talks Rubbish. I highly recommend you subscribe here first.
It's your boy, Tom Talks Rubbish, and today I'm back with another video. And once again, I'm joined by Tyler from Last Man Standing.
Hi guys.
And today, we are here to preview the AEW All Out pay-per-view 2021 match card, essentially, aren't we?
Yes, and boy howdy, it is a long card.
It's a long card, but one thing I will say, 99.9% of the matches, I'm actually really looking forward to.
Yeah, I am as well. I have to admit, I'm looking forward to every single match, probably via one. That's the only one I'm not really looking forward to.
We'll get into that in a minute.
But we'll get into it.
All right, so obviously we'll start with the big thing, because you're the first person that I've had on since the big news, obviously.
Yeah.
CM Punk's AEW debut.
I cried.
Were you that guy in the nothing against that guy? Were you that guy who was?
I wasn't like super blubbering like that guy. And whoever, this is another thing. Whoever turned around and said, "Oh." Whoever said all that rubbish about him, you can go up yourselves, because
I 100% agree with you on that.
You can all go up yourselves, because we haven't seen him in 7 years. 7 years in any sort of professional wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Right? And of course you're gonna get emotional. I got emotional. I haven't even seen.
I did.
When he left, WWE kind of went downhill. Yeah. I can say that wholeheartedly. I mean, look at it now. Look at Raw. Like, it's.
We don't need to go into that in this video.
Well, we're not going to go into that on this video, because we'll say I might save that for a rant for my channel. But again, it's just.
Anyway, so the first match we're going to talk about is CM Punk versus Darby Allin.
I'm looking forward to this match.
I am. But I'm worried.
What are you worried for?
What if all the hype for Punk is just hype and it goes down like a lead balloon?
See, my expectations are very high for this match, because he has picked Darby Allin. It wasn't chosen for him. He was handpicked by Punk. So he clearly... Yeah. So Darby Allin was handpicked by Punk to be his first match back. That shows how much trust Punk has in Darby Allin. It shows how much Punk wants to prove himself.
Yeah.
It definitely shows how much it's pretty much the old style meeting the new style, because Darby Allin is a daredevil.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. 100% I am hyped for this match. But I'm worried because, like I say, Punk, when he left, was still at the top of his game. And I don't know, like, if it turns out to be, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So some of the reports that come out, he's been training. He actually has been doing some wrestling training. He did it for heels when he was like training for heels and everything like that, the TV show. He has been. There is a picture circulating, I think, either on Malachi Black's Twitter, Instagram, or Punk's Instagram, where they've been training together.
That's a match in the future, by the way.
Okay, this is that. My next thing would be, I would like to see him go against Malachi Black, but you hold off on it for a little bit, because all I want to see them do is sit down in the middle of the ring, legs crossed, cutting promos on each other.
Yeah. But
or even just staring at each other.
Anyway, before we go off on too much of a tangent.
Yes.
Where do you think this match will take place in the card?
I
have a theory.
Gone.
I put this on a Facebook post last night in a Facebook group. I think it needs to kick off the night.
I do too. I agree with that.
Because otherwise, all the fans are going to be chanting until he comes out, is CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying I want it on the pre-show or anything.
No.
But that you need to get it out early so that A, it's not lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
And B, so the fans are still hyped.
You can't put a match like this in the middle of the card. Maybe put it in the main event, but again, if you put it in the main event, everything else is going to get drowned out with CM Punk chants, and you don't want that. Yeah,
so similar how they kicked off Rampage with Punk when he came back, they need to kick off with this match.
They need to have, as soon as the pre-show ends, as soon as everything's like they're all about to go live, it should be Darby Allin's music hits. He comes out and sits literally. I would like to see, instead of him sitting in the corner of the ring, I would like to see him sit in the middle of the ring like Punk would do. And that's when Punk comes out, and you get the cult of personality and all that.
Or what I would do is I'd have right at the end of the pre-show, as Jim Ross comes out normally.
Yeah.
I'd have cult of personality hit then, because then people are like, "Oh, I've got to buy the pay-per-view now to watch him."
Oh, that is really good. That's very good corporate synergy there, Tom. Very good.
I should have been a businessman, shouldn't I?
Right. Yeah.
So who goes over in this match?
Punk. There is no question about it. There is no. If we're in an alternate timeline, I mean, we've seen what happened with the Loki, the TV show. There could be an alternate timeline where Punk loses this match, but I don't see Punk losing.
No, neither do I. Before we go on to the next match, I should have set this up before we recorded. I'm just going to go close my bathroom door. Otherwise, we will hear the extractor fan the entire time.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
If you want to edit this part out, that would be great. Right. So the next match. What match do you want to talk about next? Because I spoke.
Let's talk about the Casino Battle Royal. So some of the people haven't been announced, but we've got Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Julia Hart, Ty Conti, Diamante, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Akara Shida, Emi Sakura, and Jade Cargill, plus 9 more people to be announced, plus the Joker.
The Joker is Ruby Soho. I think that's her name.
Yeah,
I think that's her name.
I 100% think it's going to be Ruby Soho, and I wouldn't put it past AEW if she won it straight away.
Which I'd be fine with, by the way.
Yeah, I would be as well. I've been watching her vignette, so some of the videos that she's been putting up on Twitter, the runaway and like all that, you can tell that they're very, how do I put it, well produced.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be, she's not going to debut for someone on like Impact or Stardom or anything like that, because the way that they are produced, they are very AEW produced.
Yeah, but could that just be? I'm not saying throwing us off, but
it could. Again, it could be throwing us off. But if you want to have this crowd hyped up throughout the entire night, we start with, obviously we've got the pre-show match, the buy-in match for the Casino Battle Royal, but then you get the Ruby Soho as the Joker, and then as soon as you get into the main show, it's CM Punk versus Darby Allin.
Yeah,
you want to keep that crowd riding on a high, and you can't not.
No, I agree. So, who do you think, is it 6 women that have got to be announced or 5?
So, how many is there now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, there's 13 women already announced for the match. That's 7. Wait, what? Give me a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Sorry, there's 11 people announced.
There's 9 more got to be announced.
9 more to be announced, plus the Joker.
We should note as well, we're recording this before they go home Dynamite.
So yeah, we're recording this the Tuesday, so literally the day before Dynamite.
So it could be that they announce some more names on Dynamite tonight.
I would like to see some of the Impact girls come over.
Yeah.
Some of the girls from the Knockouts division, they come in and be a part of it. I would like to see Jordan Grace mix it up with Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill. I'd like to see Deonna Purrazzo get in there as well. You've got Rosemary there. You've got so many people that can do it. They can bring over. NWA, I'd like to see Allysin Kay in there.
Yeah.
I also want to see Kylan King. She's AEW, but I would like to see her in there as well.
I'd love to see Mickie James. Like, that's just my...
I would like to see Mickie James, but unfortunately, I don't think the only way Mickie James is going to be in it is if she's the Joker. But like we've said, I reckon it's going to be Ruby Soho.
Yeah, because she's too big of a name to just come out within everyone else.
Yeah, she's too big of a name to come out with the plot with her suit, you know.
Yeah, so I'd like to see that. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. I see. This is really hard because I'm trying to figure out who should win this.
Ruby Soho, if she's in it.
Ruby Soho, if she's in it, but I would like to see them. I'd like to see them do Ruby Soho, not Ruby Soho, Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker again. But I think that should be held. I think that should be held off for Full Gear. Yeah,
so do I. And
also, or even next year's Revolution, because I would like to see Britt Baker with that title for a little bit longer. She's only just won it a Double or Nothing. So
was it only a Double or Nothing? And also, the one thing I will say, if Thunder Rosa challenges, she's winning that belt.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world today.
So, if Ruby Soho's not in it, who's your backup? Sounds like the wrong word, but you know what I mean.
It's really hard, but if Ruby Soho's not in it, I'd probably like to see Jade Cargill win it.
That's what I was going to say. I'd love to see... But only issue with that is it's heel versus heel, technically.
But the question is, Tom, is she still too green?
No, I don't think so.
She's only really had squash matches.
I understand that, but I don't know. Like, my big pick right now is Ruby Soho,
Yeah.
but my second one would be Jade Cargill. Cargill?
Yeah, Cargill.
I can never pronounce her last name. I apologize for that.
It's fine. Don't need to apologize for anything, mate.
Right. So, what match do you want to talk about next?
I want to talk about Paul White versus QT Marshall.
I'm not going to lie. I'm actually really looking forward to this.
I am, because I'm looking forward to it, because it's such, I don't know how to put it. It's such a WWE match on an AEW card.
I know what you mean, but also on the flip side, I would like, there's no one better for Paul White to be in there with on his return to the ring, from a professional level, from a keeping him safe level seems like the wrong word, but you know what I mean. He's
the safe option.
Yeah.
QT Marshall is the safe option.
All I want to see from this match, this is one of the ones that I don't want to go too long, right?
Right.
All I want to see is it Aaron Solo?
Yeah.
Aaron Solo. I can't remember the other guy's name, and I apologize.
Nick Comoroso.
Him. I want to see him and Aaron Solo like fighting the Big Show whilst QT is like hiding under the ring or something. And then finally he gets in the ring, bang, knockout punch, 1, 2, 3.
So I want to see. I don't want to see that. I kind of want to see Paul White go through his greatest hits, just like big move after big move. We have QT Marshall try to go for the diamond cutter, and then it gets blocked because bloody hell, it's Tall Paul. Like, so yeah, I don't want to see that. I want to kind of see. I just want to see him squashed.
Yeah, I can understand that. But you can also go through the greatest hits on his henchmen. Like, he can hit choke slams on them. He can hit. I'm trying to think of other moves, but you know what I mean?
Like the big chop in the corner and all that. Like,
do that on his henchmen, and then QT looks like he's going to win, hits the diamond cutter, bang, goes to hit the diamond cutter, sorry. Bang! Knockout punch, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And also, if you are going to All Out, I'm saying this on top of what SRS has said, you need to chant Tall Paul.
That'd be awesome. But anyway, next match you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima.
This, you know, we said earlier there's matches that we're least hyped for.
Yeah.
This is one of them for me.
I'm hyped for it, but I'm a little bit more annoyed because we could have had Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Jon Moxley here instead of Kojima.
Sadly, it's the state of the world right now.
Yeah. It is. It is the state of the world, unfortunately. But I would like to see Tanahashi versus Moxley, but we're getting Kojima versus Moxley. I'm fine with it. It's going to be a big hoss fight. It's just going to be two people chopping the ever living hell out of each other. But it was kind of like, you've teased us with Moxley versus Tanahashi, and then we get Kojima.
I think, like I say, if the world was perfect right now, we'd be getting Tanahashi.
Yeah.
So you just got, for right now, you've just got to take what you're given, sort of thing.
If the world wasn't on fire, we would be all right. We would be getting this match straight up. But I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy Jon Moxley beating the ever living hell out of him and then beating him. But I just kind of want to see Moxley versus Tanahashi. Maybe at full gear. Maybe we'll get that at full gear, or we get it at the next or we get it during the G1 or something like that. Like the G, maybe. But I just want to see Tanahashi versus Moxley.
So do I. So is this one of those that is a pick for not to go very long, or?
I reckon this is going to go about 10 minutes.
So do I.
I reckon it's just going to go 10 minutes of people beating the hell out of each other. It's just,
yeah.
It's
I'm not a New Japan guy, mate. So
no, it's a New Japan match on an AEW card. What more do you want?
If I like this, maybe I'll check out New Japan. But as a non-New Japan guy, I'm very sort of. It'll be fun, but I don't know enough about his work to give an objective opinion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. New Japan's in a bit of flux at the minute because of COVID and all that. They're almost like on a sit-in period.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but it's the way it is.
Yeah. So who goes over in this match for you?
Moxley goes over. Because
he's go with Moxley after this, because he won't be in the title picture.
I just think he just writes off a long list of dream matches and just gives them to Tony Khan and go, give me these.
Yeah, fair enough. So next match you want to talk about?
I want to talk about Pac versus Andrade.
Oh, hook it up to my veins.
I cannot wait for this match. This match is going to feel like Andrade's coming out party. Because Andrade's
on him so far.
He's been, how do I put it? He's kind of turned into it's almost like the Miro period, like the best man period of Miro.
Yeah,
we were still waiting for his coming out party, and then now we've got what we've got now with a Redeemer. You know, it's Pac versus Andrade is going to be Andrade's coming out party, and I cannot wait for this match. Pac is the perfect opponent to prove that you are insane.
Yeah, because I was thinking about this the other day, right? Also, we'll go next match we'll talk about is the tag team titles match, because this leads into a bit of booking that I would do for this match.
Yeah.
Earlier in the night, because I think the tag team match will go on earlier in the night, right? We have either a backstage segment with the Lucha Bros and Pac and Andrade again.
Yeah.
And essentially Pac walks off. And we see a subtle sign between the Lucha Bros and Andrade, right?
Yeah.
And wait, no, not a subtle sign, sorry. They're still adamant they're not going to work for him. And then what you do is in the steel cage match, Andrade helps them win.
Yeah.
And they're the tag champs. And then I would have later in the night, there's two ways you can do this. Either they cost Pac the match, so he loses, or they cost Andrade as a sign of we're not going to leave Pac, sort of thing.
So,
what do you think?
I think Andrade's going to go. I think Andrade's going to go over in the match. Like you said, if it bleeds into the steel cage match, then cool. I reckon it will. I reckon something's going to happen within the steel cage match. Andrade's going to be. I feel like the Pac versus Andrade is going to happen before the cage match. So we get Pac versus Andrade. Andrade wins, and Andrade can use that as leverage of kind of going, I've just beaten your leader. Like, what are you going to do now? So they go out, they have the match. Andrade tries to help. Andrade helps them to win, helps the Lucha Bros to win the tag titles. And then they look at each other. They have like a kind of like a stare down and all that. And then Pac runs in and like say, for example, like Poison Rana's him or something like that. He runs in from behind, Poison Rana's him. And as he gets Poison Rana'd, as he's come up to get the Poison Rana, the Lucha Bros super kick him in the head.
Mm.
But I don't want to see Death Triangle split up.
I do. No, not that I do. I just think a cooler faction would be Andrade and the Lucha Bros.
Yeah.
And Pac is better as a single star, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, Pac's better than best as a single star, but I just enjoy them together.
So do I. But
you know, it's two Mex.
To the next phase of the story, you need to. Do you know what I mean?
It's the way I see it is two Mexicans and a British bloke having a whale of a time tagging together and going out and being successful as a team. That's the way I see it. But again, that might not be the way AEW want to go, because what I like with AEW is there's so many different ways they can go with things.
I was just going to say that. There's so many ways they could go with a lot of these matches.
It's not a linear.
All cool.
No story is linear. You know, there's no A, B. There's no starting point to a finish point. There is a starting point, then there's like the middle of the road, and then there's the ending. Yeah.
So what was I going to say? What's next? What do you want to talk about next?
We already touched on it, so let's talk about the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros.
Get it in my veins, my friend.
I cannot wait for this match. This is one of the matches that I'm very excited for, and I want to see the Young Bucks win. Not the Young Bucks, sorry. I want to see the Lucha Brothers win.
I think it advances the story.
Yep.
For the Pac Andrade feud, but B, if we do it this way, maybe Gallows and Anderson get involved, and that goes wrong.
So the way I want this to go, I want this to be the downfall of the Elite. So I want them to start losing. I want the Young Bucks to lose the tag titles to the Lucha Bros. Then we get I believe it's at Victory Road. We get the Good Brothers versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack. I want to see Willie Mack and Rich Swann beat the Good Brothers, and then we move it. That means all the tag titles are gone from the Elite, and then we get to Full Gear, and it's Kenny versus Page. Yeah, Kenny versus Hangman Adam Page, and then
did I say Omega? I didn't mean to say that.
That's fine. And then Hangman beats Kenny.
Yeah.
So it's a slow downfall of the Elite. We start with the AEW tag titles, then we start with the Impact, and then we go into the Impact ones, then we go into the AEW one, and obviously Kenny is still going to have the AAA title, but you can get that off of him maybe at the next AAA pay-per-view against Andrade.
Or you showcase it on Dynamite again.
Yeah, even that. You do it on Dynamite. You do Andrade versus Kenny for the title.
Maybe that's where the Lucha Bros finally cement their allegiance with him.
Yeah. See, it's like I said, the story goes. There's so many ways with AEW stories. There is no starting point and finish point. There is so many different branches off, you know.
So next match you want to talk about?
Let's talk about. Let's talk about Chris Jericho versus MJF.
I'm looking forward to this.
This is one of the matches I'm not really looking forward to.
Why?
I've seen it twice now. I don't want to see it for a third time.
I think this will be it though.
But I want MJF to win.
Yeah, so do I. Like,
I want
time on this, like, because we both agree on the winner.
Yeah.
However, I have a question for you.
Mm.
Do you think Chris Jericho's done for good after this? Because the stipulation is he can't wrestle.
Of course he's not. This is Chris Jericho.
Get out of that then.
This is Chris Jericho we're talking about. This is a perfect way to bring Bryan Danielson in. You bring Bryan.
No. Don't talk about Bryan Danielson yet, because we will do that at the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but okay, that's fine. We'll talk about Bryan Danielson in a bit, but I feel like this is a perfect. We have MJF beat Jericho, and then I'll get into my kind of like fantasy booking of how we bring him in a bit later.
Okay.
So I've seen this match too many times. I want to see Jericho. I enjoy watching Jericho in the ring. I enjoyed the fight. I enjoyed the labors of Jericho. Especially, I enjoyed the match against Juventud Guerrero. But I feel like I'm over this, and this almost felt like a retirement run for Jericho anyway.
Yeah, or almost like a transition from full time.
Yeah, transition from full time to part time. So
I know he's not full time. He hasn't been full time in years, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, I agree with you on that one. One thing I don't want is this match to go too long. Like,
no, I don't either. I want this to go about 8 minutes, and MJF beats him with the salt of the earth.
What, the armbar?
Yeah, the armbar.
Would they do that though? Because he's already tapped out once.
Or he beats him with the walls, like the absolute humiliation. He beats him with the walls of Jericho.
Yeah, that's better.
He beats him with his own move.
Yeah. So where does the inner circle go in your mind after this? Because
the inner circle organically just kind of like, we're done now. Like, it's just, that's how they started. They're just kind of like, oh, Jericho's gone now. We're pretty much doing our own stuff anyway, so we might as well not be together.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of like an organic breakup, and it kind of leaves the a little bit there of like, oh, we still got each other's backs when we have to. It's not.
Yeah.
We don't come up with like 6,000 segments together.
Okay. So next match you want to talk about?
Let's talk about Miro versus Eddie Kingston.
The match I'm most hyped for, my friend.
I cannot wait to watch this match. This match is going to harm.
Only thing I'm worried about. All Miro's victories have basically been squashes.
Yeah. Apart
from what? Sorry.
Apart from Archer Double or Nothing, I don't feel like that was a squash.
Oh yeah.
But every other match he's had is pretty much been a squash.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that we don't get a squash match out of this.
No, I don't. I want them to go 15 minutes. I want to see Eddie Kingston's chest like welted all over. I want to see Miro's chest welted all over. I want to make it look. I want it to look like that they've beat. That this is the other one. That I feel like this is like the Kojima versus Moxley match. I want this to feel like this is a real fight.
Yeah, I agree.
Because of the background of Eddie Kingston, with the background of, with Miro being God's favorite champion, I just want this match to go 15 minutes and they beat the hell out of each other.
What would you do? Because Eddie Kingston, he doesn't need to be protected, but he will be. How would you get out of him tapping out? Pass out finish?
No, I reckon it'll be a pinfall. I don't.
Or a time limit draw, maybe.
Or a time limit draw. They go. I believe a TNT title match is 20 minutes. 20 minutes anyway. So they could go 20 minutes and they could do a draw. But I don't think they're going to do a draw on a pay-per-view.
They did it at Fight for the Fallen Fight Fest a few years ago with Cody.
Yeah, but then they went like an extra 5 minutes, didn't they? And then that's when
They didn't.
Did they not?
Cody went to get the mic to say we need more time, and then came out whack with a chair. Obviously, again. So yeah.
I don't know. I don't like draw finishes. I don't like Tommy Lit draws.
This will be their only match.
Okay then. Okay then. If they do a time limit draw, they save the match for September 22nd in New York, and that's if that happens, because obviously COVID and all that, that's when they bring in. That's when they have Eddie Kingston beat Miro.
Yeah, I'd have him beat him in New York, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then I'd have him go mental and maybe face Omega or pay. I'd have him be paid. I'd have him be beaten at Full Gear. And then next one, and then for Revolution next year or something, he's Paige's first feud.
Yeah. I could see that. I'd like to see that.
What other match do we need to talk about?
So, what other matches have we not talked about? We have not talked about Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Chris Statlander.
I think this is the problem with AEW's women's division. I think this match will be good. Do you know what I mean?
There's just not been a lot of build.
No. All it's been is, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Tyler, there was a Rampage, there was a run-in on Rampage.
Yep.
And that's it.
There's been a run-in on Rampage, then there was a run-in on Dark, then there was the run-in after the match between Jamie Hayter and Red Velvet.
Yeah.
All it's been is just run-ins. That's unfortunate. I'd like to see down the line Chris Statlander be AEW Women's Champion, but right now it's not her time. She has been undefeated since she's returned. Right? I get that. She's been flipping awesome since she's returned. Her being put with the best friends was a beautiful move.
Yeah, I love it.
But I feel like she's definitely just going to win. I feel not her. I definitely think Britt is retaining, and that's the way I see it. I definitely think Britt is retaining.
Unfortunately, even though I want this match to go long, I think this will be one of the matches that gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, it will. It will get lost in the shuffle, unfortunately. But there's two women's matches on this card.
Is it?
Well, yeah, because there's the women's battle royal. There's a women's battle royal, and then there's this match.
If for a shot at the belt, right? Casino Battle Royal. So please, AEW, if Ruby Soho wins, give them time.
Yes.
Because this match will be awesome. But
give them half an hour on Dynamite. You made do this. They main event a Dynamite. You give them
half an hour on Rampage, one of the two.
Yeah, you give them half an hour on Rampage, or you give them half an hour on Dynamite. One of the two. Just give me bloody time on this.
Yeah. Anything other than the main event, that's it, isn't it?
That's it. Other than the main event, that's it.
That's what we need to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So, Christian Cage versus Kenny Omega. Thoughts?
I enjoyed that match on Rampage. Yeah, I did too. I'm going to enjoy watching it again, but obviously it's going to be a different result.
Yeah, no way is Christian becoming AEW champion.
No, unfortunately, obviously plans changed because Hangman is having a baby.
And I'm glad in some ways it's changed.
I'm glad in one way. I'm glad it hasn't, because my kind of fantasy booking was, if you see my Punk and Bryan Danielson fantasy booking, I put this as, so instead of having the women's Casino Battle Royal, we were going to have a men's Casino Battle Royal.
Okay.
And Punk was going to win that Battle Royal. And then after Kenny defeated Hangman, and after Kenny defeated Hangman, then we're going to have a stare down between Punk and Omega to end All Out.
I think we'll get that with Daniel Bryan. Or Bryan Danielson. I can see him defeating Christian, and then the final countdown plays as the show goes off the air. Don't sing. You'll get my video taken down.
It won't. I got we'll talk about it off camera, but I'm looking forward to it. Obviously it's going to be, I enjoyed the Rampage match. I feel like it's going to be very much of the same thing, but with a different result. Yeah. Christian can still go. It's absolutely amazing how he can still go after being away for so long.
For 7 years, again.
Yeah, exactly.
7 years might be a theme on this pay-per-view, I think.
Yeah.
So just to wrap this up, matches we're most hyped for are
Pac versus Andrade. Paul White versus QT Marshall. Miro versus Eddie Kingston. The Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros. And Punk versus Darby.
We are essentially listing off the entire card.
Yeah, apart from a few.
That's one thing with AEW only having 4 pay-per-views a year.
I don't mind them having 4 pay-per-views a year, because that means I don't have to stay up stupid o'clock every 6 weeks.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, it means you look forward to it more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You look forward to it.
So, we should have done this at the beginning. I apologise. To wrap this up, where can the people find you, Tyler?
So, you can find me on Twitter at Tyler Woodward99. You can find the channel's Twitter at LFS_YouTube. You can find us on YouTube at Last Fan Standing. Please write wrestling next to the Last Fan Standing bit. Otherwise, you'll be taken to something called Last Fan Standing with Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, don't want that.
Yeah, you do not want to go to that, because when we get enough subscribers, I'm going to be sending him a copyright. No, I'm joking. We've got AEW predictions coming out later this week. I don't know when this is going to go out. Hopefully
Thursday, all being well.
Yeah, okay. They might be out beforehand. I might have my Jinder Mahal rank coming out. I don't know if I'm going to release it yet. I've held off on it for a while. What else have we got? What else have we got going on? Not a lot really. That's all we've really got going on. Obviously, subscribe to here. Tom Talks Rubbish. He's awesome. Subscribe to my channel. Come find me on Twitter. If you want to come on my channel, just DM me on Twitter.
Yeah, it's well worth doing. I've done it a few times.
Just DM me on Twitter. I'm always open for people.
I'll ask you off camera just in case.
Yeah. I'm always open for people to come on my channel
because I've come up with an idea, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.